Hey, and welcome to day 5. We're on the finishing straight. How cool is that? I'm really glad you're here. Without further ado, let's go to the tablet. Okay, welcome back to the tablet. Yesterday we talked about Stephen Covey's model, and we also talked about how to translate that into a day in your calendar and how that links in to your um, next week on that sheet of planning, right? We also want to just now finish off on our thing. So we want to just look at this. We want to track and trace as our last bit. And to track and trace, we want to make sure we monitor what we're doing and how we're doing it. We want to review and celebrate. We've talked a little bit about these, and we want to adjust. And we call that track and tune. So let's look at how we monitor it. We've already talked a little bit about monitoring because on here we've sort of monitored, haven't we? We've sort of done budget and actual. But we also want to monitor in a slightly different way because we want to sort of bring it together every week or every month. Now, and I don't want you to spend time doing this. I want somebody else to do it and just feed you the information. I don't do it for my own business. My team does it for me and they give me the information. They feed it to me and I just do the analysis on it. I don't do it for my clients' businesses. My team does it for my clients' businesses and they just feed it to me. I do the analysis of it and I go, right, here are the insights I've got. We have a quick 10-minute meeting with the owner and we go, right, here's yours. What insights do you get from that? And they'll sort of say, and I'll say, look, these are the insights I've got from that. What are you going to do about it? And then we'll discuss a strategy for going forward, and then we're done, right? And the meeting's finished. They've got a plan of action to do. I've helped them. They've got their work cut out, and they put it into their plan, right? They put it into their week. And so we have this document here, which is our track and trace document. And here's a sample of it. Every business will have its own. Does that make sense? Because every business is slightly different. And so what we want to make sure is that I give you something that everyone can use. And this is one that 99% of businesses will probably be able to use. And there's 4 different categories on here. And remember, we talked about a 360 view before. And so the 4 categories are sales and marketing key performance indicators or key predictive indicators. I haven't got time today to talk about predictive indicators, but they're much more powerful than key performance indicators. We can look at sales and marketing ones. We can look at pricing and margins. We can look at operations and operation key performance indicators, key predictive indicators, and we can look at personal key performance or predictive indicators. So let's look at some of these. I'm just going to go quickly through these, and we'll spend a bit of time on the personal ones because I think for me, it's more about making sure that the business provides life. It gives you choice. And, part of that choice is to live the life you want. And that includes business life as well as personal life. I hope that makes sense. So here we have, on your sales and marketing, you can look at how many conversations you have or how many leads you're generating. You can look at, in pricing, you can look at your gross margin. That's a really powerful magic number. That we often track with our clients. In fact, I can't think of a client we wouldn't track it for. We look at our key performance indicators of operations. It may be sort of salaries to sales. What is that relationship? And let's spend a bit more time on the personal key performance indicators here. And the first one I would like to look at is family time, right? So how much time and what's the quality of your family time? You want to sort of do that. And that may be a qualitative measurement. You may want to say, I want to spend, 1 hour a night reading stories to my kids, depending on their age, right? That was just a fantastic thing to do when the kids are young. You may want to spend some time watching TV with them. You may want to have some time just discussing their lives with them, their day at school, or whatever, right? Or if you haven't got kids, maybe it's your partner, and if you haven't got a partner, maybe it's your wider family. You want to maybe look at your hobbies. How much time are you spending on your hobbies? Are they being developed? Are you spending the time you want with things you love doing? For me, I like watching TED Talks on, I'm so sad, right? I like watching action films. I like watching TED Talks on YouTube. I like walking. I love hiking. I love swimming, snorkeling, diving. These are things, and I want to track how much time I'm spending on them. And this year it's been less on the swimming, diving, snorkeling, and more on the doing power tools in the garden and going on walks, right? Because that's what we have in 2020, what we had in 2020, right? Then we have the effective hourly rate. We've talked about that. It's how much do you effectively earn when you look at on, in, and with the business. Well, we could track that. We could look at holidays. How many holidays are you having? How many weeks holidays it could be? How many days holidays? How engaged you are during your holiday? Or are you still worrying about work? That quality of the holiday. And maybe community. All of these things are important to me, and I'm just mentioning them. For you, they may be slightly different, but these would probably feature in most people's, right? And here you said, like I said, you can have quality. You can see how much time. This is my clock, right? This is when I have this little image here with. If I draw it again, it's like that is a clock. I can see why I failed art. And then we have. Currency. You can have money, measurements for effective hourly rate, holidays, time in the calendar. You put in the calendar. Community. How many people are you impacting? I love that. I do that, and then you can track your actual and just see how you did. Does that make sense? So that's our track and trace. And if you do this each week or each month, I would suggest monthly to start off with. If you really can't do it monthly, at least do it quarterly. I beg you, because business life moves so fast, and things change so quickly. If you're leaving it to a quarter, there's a lot of things that's going to go missing, and I don't wish that for you. So that's our track and trace. So let's now go to our calendar and just see how we fill that in. And so what I want to do with my calendar is I want to make sure the big blocks are in. And so the big blocks, as we said, were blue. The single lines may be my holidays. I don't put my holidays in here because I don't want people to know when I'm on holiday necessarily. So the blue lines and the double blue lines are where I've got a marketing project that I'm planning on doing. So you can see my big projects go in first. My smaller projects that I want to do stuff go in as well. And then the rest of the bits just get filled in around them. And so that is how I plan my weeks. Now, when I approach, let's have a look at February the 15th, I know I've got a marketing project in mind. And I know what that project is. I've already thought it through. I've already got it listed. I've already got it broken down into the different sections, and I'm ready to go. So when the 15th comes, I don't need to go, right, it's Monday, what shall I do? I just know what to do because I've already planned it ahead. And that is the benefit of and it saves so much time. It gives us so much momentum. And if you're a client of mine, we're working together, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be planning our projects ahead so that when it comes to that date, you don't need to wake up and think, what shall I do today? You know what you're going to do. And it's just so liberating to just go and start work. So that's that. And we're just going to let's do a quick take stock of what we've done here. And I would suggest we've looked at reviewing, right? We've looked at reviewing the last year. We've looked at reviewing the week's work we're doing, the month's work we're doing, and the post-it notes. Remember that strategy? We looked at 360 degrees. We looked at all the way from leads through sales, through margins, through operations, through family time, through hobbies, through holidays. We've looked at the future, look at planning the future and how we can map that out in the calendar. We've looked to make sure that it's aligned with our 360 view of our family life, of our home life, of our hobbies or holidays. We've looked at how effective it is because we do the right things at the right time. We make sure it's achievable because if it's out of sight, it's hard to stay motivated because you can't see progress in steps. Whereas if you're making progress regularly towards smaller targets, but with a bigger target in mind, it's much easier. We did track and true. We talked about how to monitor it on a daily basis as well as on a monthly or quarterly basis. We looked at how to review and celebrate the successes and achievements you're having. And we're looking how to adjust by reviewing. You go, how did that do? What did I do right? What did I do wrong? What can I do differently? And that begins to build your business by design. Okay. So that is there. We're nearly there. And then we've got the calendar. And then, of course, we've got how you get further help. Now, if you want a completely independent third-party review of the plan you've just done, just to make sure we don't get off on the wrong track, then book that call. It's about 60 minutes, completely dedicated to your business and your plan. It's called Double Your Income, Double Your Free Time. It's a coaching call. It's a sample of a coaching call. I'm going to be talking you through your plan and working with you on it, maybe fine tuning it. Of course, go back into the Facebook group. And today, what I'd like you to just put is, if you've got this calendar with your big rocks in, right? I want you to just type in mission accomplished. Make sense? All right. So that's all from me. Let me just stop the share. So that's it we've done it in 5 days. You have got a winning plan for the coming year, whether that year starts in January or whether it starts in June or whether it starts in March or September. It makes no difference. It's still progress, right? It doesn't matter. Don't think, oh, I got to wait till next year. Please don't. Do it whenever you see this thing. Go into the Facebook group. Tell us about your experience on it. Don't forget, for today, your mission is to type in mission accomplished as soon as you've put your big rocks in your calendar. All right. So this is Gordon wishing you well. You take care of yourself. Goodbye.